This is not a self-help video. This is a war briefing. If you are looking for comfort, leave. If you are looking to be coddled, click away. But if you are tired of being a slave to impulses you did not choose, listen closely. We are living through the greatest siege in human history. But unlike the siege of Carthage or the fall of Rome, there are no burning walls. There are no screaming barbarians at the gates. The enemy is silent. It is in your pocket. It is in your hand. They don't want to kill you. Dead men cannot consume. They want you distracted. Niccolò Machiavelli, writing from his exile in San Casciano, understood the brutality of power better than any man. He taught us that virtù, the disciplined force of a ruler, is constantly at war with fortuna, the chaos of chance. Today, fortuna is the algorithm. It is the infinite scroll. It is the chaotic flood of other people's opinions designed to drown your virtù. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But the distracted man? He is neither feared nor loved. He is irrelevant. He is a leaf in the wind, blown by trends, triggered by headlines, harvested for his attention span. The man who cannot focus is a man who cannot rule. Not a kingdom, not a business, not even his own mind. If you are done being a casualty in the war for attention, if you are ready to build the shield, then we must begin with the first law of the Machiavellian mind. Write this contract in the comments below, not for me, but for yourself. I am not here to be entertained. I am here to rule. Law 1. Divide et impera. Divide and conquer. The Romans had a strategy that allowed a small city-state to conquer the known world. Divide et impera. Divide and conquer. If an enemy is united, they are strong. If you can fracture them into smaller tribes, make them fight amongst themselves, they become weak. They become easy to enslave. Look at your mind right now. Is it a united legion, or is it fractured? A piece of your mind is on an email. A piece is on a text message. A piece is worrying about a comment from a stranger. A piece is lusting after a pixelated image. You are not multitasking. You are being conquered. Distraction is not an accident. It is an invasion strategy. The weakness of the modern mind is that it is terrified of boredom. Pascal said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." You reach for the phone not because you need it, but because you are afraid to face the silence of your own mediocrity. The device offers you a cheap escape. It offers you the illusion of connection to hide the reality of your submission. Machiavelli warned that a prince who relies on mercenaries will never be secure, because mercenaries have no loyalty. Your dopamine hits are mercenaries. They feel good for a moment, but they will abandon you the second the screen turns off, leaving you emptier than before. To become dangerous, you must reverse the strategy. You must unite your forces. Total mental siege. When you work, you cut the lines. No notifications, no checking in. You become a ghost to the world so you can be a god in your craft. When you focus, you do not just pay attention. You declare war on everything that is not your mission. The precise man terrifies the chaotic mob. Why? Because he possesses the one thing they lost long ago: control. If you are ready to stop being divided and start conquering, comment below. I command my focus. I own my mind. Law 2. The sanctuary of solitude. Exile is power. In 1513, Niccolò Machiavelli was stripped of his titles tortured, and banished from Florence. He lost everything. He was exiled to a farm, surrounded by peasants and livestock. For a lesser man, this would be the end. He would have drowned in self-pity. He would have begged for validation. But Machiavelli did not see exile as a prison. He saw it as a throne room. In a letter to a friend, he described his ritual. Every evening, after a day of catching birds and arguing with locals, he would return home. He would strip off his muddy peasant clothes. He would put on the regal and courtly garments of his past. And only then, in total silence, would he enter his study to read the ancients. He wrote, "I step inside the venerable courts of the ancients, where I am unashamed to converse with them, and for 4 hours at a time I feel no boredom, I forget all trouble, I do not fear poverty, and I am not terrified by death." This is the power of strategic isolation. Isolation isn't weakness, it is refinement. The modern man fears being alone because in the silence he hears his own demons. He hears the truth about his wasted potential. So he turns up the noise, he seeks the crowd. But the greats? They run towards the silence. Musashi retreated to a cave to write the Book of 5 Rings. The Desert Fathers walked into the wasteland to find God. Machiavelli went into exile to write The Prince, a book that would rule the world for 500 years. You must understand, you cannot sharpen a blade in a crowded market. You will be bumped, you will be distracted, the edge will be uneven. To sharpen the blade of your mind, you must withdraw. People will call you antisocial. They will say you are arrogant. Good, let them. The sheep always fear the wolf who separates from the pack. When you isolate, you are not hiding, you are molting. You are shedding the weak skin of the social animal to reveal the predator underneath. You are stripping away the need for applause. You are learning to feed yourself. Stop looking for your friends in the club. Stop looking for meaning in the group chat. Put on your regal garments, enter your study, close the door, and do not come out until you have created something that makes the world tremble. If you are ready to embrace the exile, write this. In silence, I forge my crown. Law 3. The one who reacts first loses. The Stoic Citadel. In the court of power, the man who speaks first reveals his cards. But the man who reacts first, he hands over his weapon. Power does not shout. It watches, it waits, it calculates. But weak minds, they react instantly. They react emotionally. They react loudly. And that is all it takes to lose everything. Imagine your mind is a citadel. Your emotions are the gates. Every time someone insults you, every time a crisis occurs, every time chaos knocks on the door, if you fly into a rage, if you panic, if you desperately try to explain yourself, you are lowering the drawbridge. You are letting the enemy walk right into your throne room and set fire to your peace. History teaches us the power of auctoritas, authority. When Cato the Younger attacked Julius Caesar in the Senate, screaming accusations, Caesar did not scream back. He did not defend his honor with shaky words. He simply waited. He let the silence stretch until it became uncomfortable, until Cato's anger looked like madness against the backdrop of Caesar's calm. Machiavelli warned, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." But in the modern world, we estimate a man's power by how unbothered he remains while surrounded by chaos. When they cannot read you, they fear you. When they cannot provoke you, they lose leverage. Your silence becomes confusion. Your calm becomes a threat. You must train your emotions like a soldier trains for the sniper shot. The gap between stimulus and response is where power lives. Most men bridge that gap with noise. Something happens, they react. The dangerous man widens that gap. Something happens, he observes, he analyzes, he decides. No response unless it serves your strategy. No outburst unless it serves your long game. No explanation unless it buys you leverage. Everything else? You keep it inside the citadel. Let them guess. Let them drown in your stillness. If someone has ever baited you into defending your peace, realize this. You didn't just lose the argument, you lost your sovereignty. Write this in the comments if you are ready to seal the gates. I am not here to react. I am here to rule. Law 4. Self-focus builds leverage. The economics of presence. In every room, there is a man who speaks and a man who listens. One is trying to prove something. The other is collecting data. One is spending energy. The other is hoarding leverage. Guess which one wins? This is simple economics applied to the human soul. Supply and demand. The more available you are, the less valuable you become. If you are always online, always replying instantly, always eager to please, always present, you are common goods. You are gravel. You are cheap. People do not respect what is free. They only respect what they fear losing. The Roman Emperor Tiberius understood the dark art of absence. When he felt his authority slipping in Rome, he didn't give more speeches. He didn't try to be more liked. He left. He retreated to the island of Capri. Suddenly, Rome was desperate for him. His absence created a vacuum, and power abhors a vacuum. By withdrawing his presence, he reminded them that he was the sun, and without him, they were in the cold. You don't need to be an emperor to use this. You dominate the room by controlling what controls everyone else. Attention. Your self-focus is the forge. Every hour you spend sharpening your mind, controlling your time, building your value, you are storing leverage. You are not ignoring people. You are prioritizing your own rising value over their cheap entertainment. The Machiavellian man does not negotiate his worth. He builds it in silence, and then he sets the price. You want influence? Then disappear. Disappear for a month. Disappear for a year. Let them laugh while you are gone. Let them doubt you. Let them forget you. Because when you return with results, when you return with the body, the money, the mind that they can only dream of, they will remember you differently. They will talk less. They will listen more. Not because you changed your tone, but because you raised your market value. You must become the diamond in a world of gravel. Rare, hard, unbreakable. Let the crowd chase relevance. You chase refinement. Let them demand attention. You make your absence expensive. If you are building your empire in the shadows while no one watches, declare it now. My focus is my throne. Law 5. Kill the need to be seen. The ghost strategy. Most men do not chase power. They chase the appearance of power. They confuse attention with respect. They want to be seen, heard, praised, validated. But here is the dark truth no one tells you. The more you need to be seen, the easier you are to control. Validation is a leash, a silent, shiny leash dressed in likes, emojis, and compliments. It doesn't choke you, it seduces you. It makes you believe you are winning while it pulls you exactly where they want you to go. Think about it. The algorithm feeds you praise when you are tame. It starves you when you are dangerous. That is not affirmation. That is training. You are being trained like a dog to bark for a biscuit. Machiavelli didn't play that game. He didn't need the crowd to clap. He needed the strategy to work. He knew that real power is often invisible. The most powerful hand is the one that moves the pieces, not the piece that gets moved. You must adopt the ghost strategy. When you do something difficult, don't tell anyone. Let it burn inside you. When you make a move, don't announce it. Let the result be the announcement. When you succeed, don't chase congratulations. Let the world be stunned by your sudden ascent. The man who needs to be seen never builds anything real. He is too busy performing. He is too busy acting out the role of a successful man to actually be one. You must become the glitch in their system. Not present, but always felt. Not loud, but always looming. Your moves confuse them because you gave them no warning. Your success terrifies them because they didn't see it coming. Power isn't in being seen, it's in being undeniable. If you are ready to cut the leash of validation, write this: I am not here to be seen. I am here to be sovereign. Law 6. Discipline is the fortress. Temporal warfare. Most men think discipline is a cage. They think freedom means doing whatever they feel like doing. I'll work when I'm inspired. I'll wake up when I'm rested. I'll build when the mood strikes. That is not freedom. That is slavery to biology. Understand the dark reality of the human animal. If you do not structure your own time, someone else will structure it for you. If you do not have a plan for your day, you become part of someone else's plan. And guess what? Their plan does not involve your victory. It involves your exploitation. Machiavelli didn't speak about to-do lists. He spoke about order. In a chaotic world, the man with a routine is the only stable element. While your enemies are waking up hungover, scrambling to find their phone, reacting to the news, already losing the day before it begins, you have already won. Why? Because you operate on a code. You must view your routine not as a chore, but as temporal warfare. Time is the only territory you can never reconquer once lost. Every hour you spend doom scrolling is an hour you surrendered to the enemy. Every morning you sleep in is a battle lost to your own weakness. You must build a system so strong that it overrides your feelings. You don't feel like training? Irrelevant. The schedule demands it. You don't feel like working? Irrelevant. The mission demands it. This is how you program yourself. Because if you don't program your own mind, the world finds a way to upload its virus into you. Motivation is for amateurs. Motivation is a fickle mistress who leaves you when the storm comes. Discipline? Discipline is the loyal soldier who stands by your side even when the world is burning. Make your routine heavier than your excuses, so when your emotions try to speak, your actions have already finished the job. Once they realize you cannot be distracted, they will know you cannot be defeated. If you are ready to stop being a slave to your impulses, write this contract. I do not follow motivation. I follow a code. Law 7. Emotional detachment is the weapon. Psychological jujitsu. Now we arrive at the most dangerous law of all, the one that will make you terrifying to manipulators. The most dangerous man in any room is not the one with the loudest voice. It is the one who feels nothing, but observes everything. He doesn't react. He doesn't flinch. He processes reality with cold, surgical precision. In the realm of dark psychology, there is a truth. He who angers you conquers you. The moment they know what upsets you, they own you. The moment they see you cringe, they adjust their attack. The moment they realize they can make you explain yourself, the power shifts. You are no longer the king. You are the jester, dancing for their amusement. You must master the art of the gray rock. When a manipulator tries to provoke you, when a narcissist tries to gaslight you, when a chaotic partner tries to drag you into their storm, you become a rock. You give them nothing, no anger, no sadness, no defense. You give them the emotional void. Why is this a weapon? Because manipulators feed on reaction. They feed on narcissistic supply. When you scream back, you feed them. When you defend yourself, you feed them. But when you look at them with dead, calm eyes and say nothing, you starve them. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are driven by two things, love and fear. But to be feared is far safer." Love expects you to be warm. Fear respects that you are cold. Detachment isn't about being a sociopath. It's about being unavailable to manipulation. You don't remove your emotions. You hide them in the vault. You separate feeling from deciding. When they insult you, you don't feel hurt. You analyze the data. Why are they saying this? What is their goal? They are trying to provoke a reaction to hide their own insecurity. See, you moved from victim to analyst. This is the ultimate psychological jujitsu. You let them throw their energy at you, and you step aside. They fall by their own weight.
Stop arguing with fools. Stop trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. The explanation is the defeat. The silence is the victory. Eventually, they will test you. They will poke the bear to see if it still roars. Do not roar. Stare. Let your silence be so heavy that it crushes their lungs. If you are ready to become the emotional void that no manipulator can touch, declare it. I feel nothing. I see everything.
Law 8. Solitude is where you become dangerous. The alchemy of the soul. Most men run from solitude as if it were a plague. They call it loneliness. They fear the silence. When the room gets quiet, they panic. They feel small. They feel exposed. And that is where they collapse. Not from the world's pressure, but from their own inability to face themselves. But hear this. Solitude is not punishment. It is purification. You cannot build real power in the noise. You cannot gain clarity surrounded by people who drain you. Solitude strips all that away. The fakes fall off. The distractions fade. And all that is left is you, raw, real, and uncomfortable. That discomfort? That is the feeling of weakness leaving the body. Machiavelli would not have told you to seek company when your mind is weak. He would have told you to retreat, not to escape, but to refine. Most men try to heal in the presence of the people who broke them. That is why they never evolve. They stay available. They stay accessible. The Machiavellian man disappears, not to sulk, but to sharpen. In the dark, you are your own master. You must learn to be emotionally self-sufficient. You must become your own anchor, because the man who depends on no one for his inner peace is a man no one can destroy. Your enemies hope you never learn this. They hope you stay needy. They hope you stay afraid of the dark. But once you embrace the void, once you realize that you are enough, you become a force of nature.
The lion does not need the approval of the sheep to hunt. He simply exists. If you are ready to enter the void and return as a king, whisper this to yourself: I do not fear the dark. I am the dark. Law 9. Evolution is the final blow, the unreachable man. We have arrived at the end, the final law, the ultimate strategy. You have been quiet, you have been focused, you have been disciplined. But there is still one desire left in you: revenge. You want to prove them wrong. You want to make them regret. Kill that desire. It is beneath you. The greatest revenge is not to harm your enemy. It is to become so great, so evolved, so far above their level of existence that they no longer matter. Machiavelli wrote, "Men must be either pampered or annihilated. In the modern world, you annihilate them by making them irrelevant. You used to want their explanations. Now you want silence. You used to beg for their attention. Now your results speak for you. You used to chase their love. Now you are the storm." This is the state of the unreachable man. You don't fight battles beneath your purpose. You don't argue with people who are committed to staying small. You simply ascend. Let them whisper about the old you. That man is dead. He died in the solitude. He died in the discipline. The man standing here now operates on a different frequency. They can't trigger you because they can't reach you. They can't manipulate you because they can't understand you. Their punishment is not your anger. Their punishment is watching you thrive without them. Their punishment is realizing that they were the anchor holding you back, and now that the chain is cut, you are soaring. This is the ultimate victory. To look at the people who doubted you, who betrayed you, who ignored you, and feel absolutely nothing. No hate, no love, just indifference. Because you are busy building an empire. If you have reached this level of evolution, leave this mark: I have ascended. They cannot touch me. Conclusion: the sovereign mind, the coronation. We have walked the path from distraction to discipline, from chaos to clarity, from victim to victor. You now possess the 9 laws. But knowledge without action is just a souvenir. The world is waiting for you to fail. The algorithm is waiting for you to scroll. The mediocrity is waiting for you to settle. Do not give them the satisfaction.